What's going on, everyone? It's the People's Envoy Updog here with you, and today we are going to be talking about the brand new war changes that are coming out on technically on the 10th is the first war that it'll happen on. But I wanted to go over the teams that are getting defensive buffs in the war changes, and then I'll go over the counters, or the cheap counters at least, for what you can use. Obviously, they're the other teams that are getting buffed for offense. You could definitely use those, but I wanted to go over some cheap counters for you. So let me quickly pull up the first team we're going to go over, which is Annihilators. I'll give you a couple of fairly cheap counters for them, and then we'll do Astral as well, and then I'll kind of cover what other teams that are getting buffed on defense, what counters you can use on them for as far as cheap counters go. So let's see here. Back into the room here real quick. Trying to be cautious of our war setup and everything like that. So that's why I switched over to that screen there. So let's see. First off is going to be Gamma with APOC into Annihilators, full Annihilators. Now, I like dropping She-Hulk in this team because she doesn't really bring much. I like the extra health from Abomination on this team. So, and then actually APOC gives health as well. But yeah, I just think She-Hulk, in 99% of the cases, she's the one you want to drop on Gamma if you're running a Gamma hybrid. So all my ISOs are good. This is a 1.3.5 million punch up, something like that. So let's go take a look here, show you how to handle this one. Now, I think you probably could do Ares as well. APOC is mostly there to get that safeguard off of Gladiator, so we can kind of get around him fairly quickly. A-Bomb flipped the taunt, so that was good. We're going to stun the Gore here, because we don't want the charges getting stripped off of Red Hulk. And then I think I'm going to try and reduce this Thanos here. Oh, dang it. Ooh, Hulk almost got deleted there. We're going to, let's see. I think we're going to work on this Gore some more. I was hoping that Thanos would drop a little lower, but he did not, so that's a little unfortunate. And he's probably going to drop here, but not much else we can do about it, so we're just going to go for it. That didn't hurt too bad. We're going to try and pop this Gore here. Oh, crap, he went. Alright, Gore's dead. We're going to try and get rid of this Thanos before he becomes a problem. Hopefully Red Hulk, yep, Red Hulk takes him out. Perfect. We're going to ability block this Gladiator. He doesn't do any funny business to us. Hulk is taunting again. Here we go with the ult. It's not going to do as much on those two, the Ultimus and Surfer, just because they have the safeguard, but that's okay. We're going to slap some people anyway. And let's see, we got a vulnerable on Surfer. Let's try and get him out of here before he starts ramping up his speed. So he's out of there. We're just going to kill this Ultimus because he's just going to get turn after turn with Hulk getting taunt all the time. And there you go. That's how you do that. So the next one we're going to do is going to be Cabal, Kang, and Emma into the same Annihilators team. So get that set up here. Yeah, here they are right here. Except I like that positioning better. Probably this positioning over here. So ISO is important. You want Kang a Raider. And then from there, it's just trying to delete them. Now, I did try APOC and Kang and Cabal. It doesn't work as well as you would think, so that's why we're going with this team. Instead, the Emma, you kind of need that to slow everybody down so that way you can get this rewind off, because if you don't have that passive from Emma, the rewind doesn't happen. Come on, Kang. Do some damage. Oof. And then you can get the slow out there with her special. Gore taking a turn in this comp isn't as big of a deal. We're just gonna go, we're not going for the stun here, we're just going for the damage. Trying to get through that gladiator, there we go. And then for this attack, I'm just gonna go straight down the middle here. Tried to take out some people. Didn't quite work. I'm trying to look at my speed bar here. I think we might want to do this. Boom, there we go. And just have Thanos left. And it's over. So, that's how you handle some Annihilators with cheap counters. Now we're going to go into Astral here. Alright, so the next team we're going to do is going to be against Astral, and we're going to use what I like to call is Storm's End. The Storm's End team, because Storm just ends everything. Also a Game of Thrones reference, but if you didn't catch that. But anyway, I still consider this a cheap counter, even though we are using some big X-Men characters here as far as like the new stat reworks and things like that. We're also pulling X-23 from Weapon X, but you know, some alliances put Weapon X on defense, so you can always throw Sabretooth back in there. They're still going to be nasty on defense. And they're probably going to take the same counter anyway, so you might as well use X-23 on offense here. So let's go show you how this is all done here. The ISO, oops, I didn't check Storm's, or not Storm, Rogue's ISO, whoops. Okay, she's a striker. We'll see if it lands. So I've had trouble with Rogue landing her special. We'll see what that does here, but we're going to stun the Emma. Now this is a Skirmisher Nightcrawler, so that's important. Skirmisher on Rogue is probably going to be something you want to do as well. Which I'm going to stun the Ancient One. And then we want a special on Strange. Now he does have that deflect, so that does cause some problems as well, but the... yeah, so that didn't land. This might not work. So nobody has any negative effects. We're going to just go all in on Shadow King here, get some damage on him. We are going to put an ability block on him. So, looking good so far. Got 12 charges on Storm. Now, luckily, Rogue does have a stun as well. So, you can stun Strange, you can stun the Moondragon if you want. And then we can do this with Nightcrawler, clear all those positive effects, put some slows out there. And we got 15 charges. There we go. We wiped out most people. X-23 got a bunch of turn meter from all those deaths. Okay, this does damage now. The special does. So we're going to try that. He's got a slow. And we should be able to finish everybody off. So, even with big stats, the big stat boost that they're going to have on defense, I think this team will still work. I think it's definitely worth a try. You saw that was a huge punch up there. The other two teams that beat Astral, Absolute A-Force can beat them. They're going to be getting a buff on offense with their stats, so that'll definitely help. It'll be more of an even playing field if you use Absolute A-Force. But Mercs for Money also beat them. Alright, so we're going to try this team as well into the Astral team. It is still another big punch up here, but we are going to see if we can get it to work. So let's go check it out. Alright, so we're going to special with Zugs here. Get that slow going. That'll help a little bit. We're going to ability block the Emma because we don't want her doing anything crazy. We're going to just go all into the Emma. Spread that ability block. And we are going to, let's see, with special here. And then let's ult onto Emma here. And we're going to go all in on her. Just get her out of there. We need to get her out of there. Oh, there she goes. Okay. So now she can't cleanse the Shadow King, and he is just going to basic. So that's fine. Well, they might just hard target. Well, I guess she does have taunt. Gonna hard. Oh, wow. Moondragon died. Holy cow. Alright, so Strange's ability blocked with trauma. We're gonna go ahead and ult here with Zim. Try and get that Shadow King down. Strange has got 3 ability blocks. Oh no. Strange is all that's left. And we have Dark Phoenix and goodbye Strange. Oh! Okay, maybe not. Maybe Zugs is going to do the honors here. Oh, okay, that was it. So that is how that's done. Like I said, with Absolute A-Force, it's a little bit trickier. You can't punch up quite as big. But that's how that works there. Now, the other teams that are going to get buffed on defense are going to be as follows here. Let me pull them up. So, Illuminati is going to get a defensive buff. Now, they can be taken out by the original A-Force, and especially if you put in like a Quicksilver or some other big plug-and-play character in place of Captain Marvel, then they definitely can beat, should be able to beat Illuminati pretty easy. Underworld is also a counter for them as well, so Underworld counter takes a little bit of time. You need a big Taskmaster, and a big Mr. Negative and a big Green Goblin wouldn't hurt either. But Taskmaster, it's all about him getting those assists and everything, kind of like we saw with Old Man Logan there. So those are the counters for Illuminati. Infestation is going to be getting a buff as well, and I would say stick to the counters. I would not try to use the Sinister 6B team, which is going to be... Let's see here. This team right here, I would not recommend using this team for that because they'll have those extra buffs, defensive buffs. So I would stick to the Nowhere team or like a Sinister 6 team. That's what I would go with for countering Infestation. Shouldn't be a problem. And then X-Men, the big, huge X-Men tag in general is getting buffs. Now for those teams, there's going to be, I'm sure, all sorts of combinations, like Extreme Rogue or maybe just Extreme in general. There might be like some Immortal X-Men comps out there. And basically, the teams that can beat those are like A-Force and Weapon X. And maybe Underworld too, if you have a big enough Underworld. So those are the 3 teams, the cheap counters for those. I wish I could have gotten Absolute A-Force to work for you guys to show that, but Astral is a really tough team. It's no shame in using a bigger, more powerful team to beat them. So hope you found that helpful. Hope that gives you some ideas for using cheaper counters that we're gonna need for the new buffs that are going live. And yeah, until next time, make sure you spend those resources wisely, and we will see you around.